What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Satoshi and welcome back to another 2 videos. For today's videos, I'm going to focus on talking about the Wolf Spirit auto attack build, which includes chaplain, monks, and druid. Now, one of my friends reached out to me to ask me actually testing out this build and kind of cover it. And I gotta be honest, this build is just not that good. So I'm going to break down a few things you need to know. Starting off with the skill builds, max out Guardian Sang, max out heals, one into the face, and the rest going to cure. Pretty straightforward. The attributes is gonna be all level 50. I'm not gonna max it out. For the champlains, I max out Binatios, which is really good for the attack speed. Now, if you have a chaplain by Varna, you definitely want to use this instead because it's gonna give you extra damage. I maxed out the Aspergillium, which is really good for auto attacks, by the way. Now, Aspergillium does have an arch attribute, which kind of convert into the magic circle skill. It's pretty good in my opinions, but the damage is not worth mentioning. It's pretty decent, but it's not big. It's not overpowered. I do have 1 point to last riots, and then max out capellas as well as the visible talent. Now, there is the P times. I'm going to make it short. P times, what it does is give you your catcher your extra knockback immunity, which is really nice, by the way, when you fighting bosses. Now, the only reason why I only put 1 point to last riot because every point will only increase extra damage and the extra duration, so it's not worth mentioning. It's not that great. You can actually invest some of your point back into your capella and then visible talent. That is way much better. And for their attributes, it's actually for the last rite. If you have a level 10 last rite on the buff, you can actually use the promoting spirits. So what it does extra more damage when the enemy falls 50% HP and below, which is good. For the monks, now monks, I gotta be straightforward with this. I did not get the palm straight, the hand knives, 1-inch punch, or even god finger click, because this build is heavily focused on magic attack, which is the Aspergilliums. And for monks, I only max out double punch, iron skins, energy blast, which is really good, by the way, and then golden bell shields. I gotta be honest, I don't know why I get this, even to get this, because my main focus is auto punch basically, and then I'm using the energy blast to have the infinite energy blast whenever I quit with double punch, so that is really nice for the monks. With that, I can proc more stormers wherever it's when I'm doing CM technically. For the druid, it's gonna be very short. Max out grass, max out critical damage, linking trophies, 1 point into the handstones, max out thorn, and the rest go into the sea bombs. Now, for the Legend trophies, you actually does have to disable the human form in order to use the wolf spirit form. So you can see here, about activate the demi-human form and you're gonna disable the wolf spirit form. And what the wolf spirit form does, it gives you the extra damage, 4% per level, so that's technically 20%, and then it decreases damage taken by 2% per levels. So technically, with the max Legend trophy, you're gonna have 20% damage and 10% damage reduction. That's pretty nice. Also, because Druid have a transformation specialty, you actually get an extra 10% critical rate, HP, and invasion, and that is super good. Oh wait, excuse me, 10% HP recovery. And then for the command, there's nothing else right there. Alright, so for the equipment, it's gonna be the same. Stormers, plus 16 Varna, 2-hand mace, and plus 16 trinkets. I'm actually using my Crusader Vivora because I don't have the Champlain version, but I still did get that extra con in SPR status, which is really nice for magic attack build. For the armor, it's gonna be plus 11s, random static anchor with the wisdom anchor for all 4 pieces. So for the random status anchor, it's gonna be in con, SPR, and critical rate, which is really nice. And then Moringponi trigger set effects for the extra crit rate, plus you burst seal to proc the attacker set effect for the extra 100% damage. Technically double damage, and then for the costume, it's gonna be chaplain. Now, status distributions, I went ahead and invest a lot of status into it. Well, technically this character is still low level, but if I were to plan to invest any status, I would go for intelligence because you want the extra raw magic attack, so your auto attack damage would do much more damage. And then for the status, let me go ahead and transform real quick with the wolf transformations. Where is it? Alright, it's disabled, so right now I have 3630 crit rate when it transforms. It's gonna give you that Ultra Instinct Aura, which is really nice, by the way. So this is actually pretty cool. The only reason why I'm actually using the Wolf Spirit form because of this skin. And then I actually get that extra crit rate, super nice. I just have my enchants, weapon damage, physical damage reduction, critical damage, critical raise, and etc. and so on. Now, for the cards, I actually have a budget setups. I went for vanillas because I have a grass with does poison damage, so I have extra damage against poison target. For the purple ones, I went for mine loaders. What it does allow me is that mine loaders can also trigger the stormer, so this DOT damage is really good along with the grass, and that's what the thorn. So technically both these are DOT damage, and then basically my auto attack does like super fast human attack. So this way I can proc for more mine loaders on the target as well as proccing the stormer, which is super nice. I do have a SP recovery card instead of the gazing goblin card, in my opinion, because I was planning to actually get the P times for the knockback immunity and knockdown technically, which is not bad in my opinion. For the blue card, it's gonna be Zara. In my opinion, getting Zara is better than getting Noel's for the physical damage. And then for the green cards, if you have any green card like blood for the extra con status, that will be super nice because you need HP to survive. And standing there and auto attacking and taking damage, you definitely want higher con HP status. Alright, so next is gonna be Assisters. For the Assister, I have Moringponias, Moth, Mirtis, as well as Solcomn. Now, I finally got Mirtis, which is super nice because my build is no longer have that few monster damage reduction to whatever, the few zone one. And then I have the extra SPR status, which is super nice because I can use my grass and heal myself. So we can pop this one real quick. And fortunately, I cannot see my HP recovery at the moment, but the extra SPR status does contribute a lot to the healing power. So with this, you can just stand on the grass and auto attacking, doing damage at the same time and healing at the same time, so you don't have to worry about just kind of clicks to spend your health technically. And for the full combo, it's going to buff up real quick. Go ahead and use Last Riot, Capellas. Oh yeah, about Capella, there is the attributes that allow you to kind of get half damage of the Capella's holding damage. So right now it's 125%, so half the damage is like 60% or something around there. And that's really good, and you can bring this buff with you. You don't have to stay in one location to gain that holy damage buff. And then we'll use Iron Skins. This critical damage is not that important, and then Handstones not that important either. Go for and use Lincoln Trophy into the Wolf Spirit form, and you can pop the double punch. Make sure to use the Wolf Spirit form first, and then you can use double punch. And then just drop your grass, thorn, and auto attack it down. What's this? Lot of line. And then there's the Storm Ark triggers. Super nice, actually. The amount of damage is pretty decent. I'm gonna cover that in the next clips. Now, onto the channel mode is going to be very straightforward because all you have to do, drop the grass, let the mine loader synergize with the grass, and proc the Stormer and do a ton of damage. Your auto attack, it will only benefit your character during the boss stage. That is where you have to drop every single combo with your visible talents as well as the grass, thorn, and then critical damage, and trying to best to do as much damage as possible. Now, onto stage 6 and 7, you are not gonna do a lot of damage, in my opinion, because when you reach that stage, the boss and monsters have so much HP and defense, your damage will fall off. The only thing that does damage is actually your Storm Ark, because at this point your Storm Ark will proc a lot, all the way from the mine loader, the grass, and everything, which is really good by the way. And then you already noticed for the clips, it took us nearly 4 minutes, almost 4 minutes, to actually kill the boss from stage 7. Not to mention clearing the mob as well. So when we get to the boss, it takes us quite a while to take down the boss. So that's really depending on your parties as well as your builds. But in my opinion, with auto attack, you are not gonna do a lot of damage. I also managed to get the rank 1 for the CM party as well, so don't put too much hopes on the auto attack because, like I said before, all the damage is coming from the Storm Ark. The next clip is gonna be the casual Legend Varna, and I gotta be honest, the first phase is very difficult because you have to kill the minions in order to continue to attack the boss, to drop the boss stat HP as much as possible. Usually it takes me like 30 seconds to kill the first phase, and then for the second phase it's gonna take like at least 2 or 3 minutes, but for the whole run it took me roughly 10 to 20 minutes because I have to run around to do the mechanic, to do the tornadoes, and then I have to run around to prevent the scale cliff from using chain on my characters. If he keeps using chain on my character, he's gonna fully heal. And then the cages. The cage is actually the most painful one because I don't have range attack. I cannot hit the black orb. So when the black orb get into the metals, I'm pretty much screwed because this black orb will spawn some minions that will slow me down, that will stun lock my characters, and then Varna can just stand there and just slap the heck out of me. That is pretty bad. So onto the Mirtis fight, it's gonna be a hard mode versions, and I gotta be honest, I'm not doing a lot of damage. It took me around 4 to 5 minutes to actually kill the hard Mirtis, and that is pretty long compared to my original builds. In my opinion, because there are so many mechanics you have to go around. You have to hit the crystals, you have to watch out for the poison flow, you have to keep your HP as high as possible, and you have to do damage at the same time. So the only damage that's coming out is your grass, your thorn, your attack wheel, and that's it. Technically, you can also add onto the visible talent as well, but it only does 10 million damage cap. Alright folks, that is pretty much for all this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this video provided you guys some insight and information for the endgame auto attack build for Cleric. In my opinion, it's pretty fun, it's pretty neat, but it costs way too much. If you want a very specific auto attack build, you might want to consider pick up SR from Scout. SR has a skill called Levincon. You can actually just run around and shoot a single target, or maybe doing AoE damage as well, so you don't have to worry about just standing in one place and auto attacking. I don't know, maybe Cleric is in the bad positions right now, maybe in a bad meta where auto attack is not viable for Cleric. Let me know what you guys think in the comment below. This is Sanoji once again, and I will see you all in the next videos. Peace out.